So we've been talking about football and the fact that Rich can watch football, American football. What do you watch it on? What's the network over there in England?
In England, we have the Sky Sports. Sky are pretty dominant when it comes to broadcasting our football, soccer. And there is another organisation called BT Sport, which is British Telecom, which uses a phone service, which is the biggest phone service we got. But now Sky has really taken over the last sort of 5 or 10 years. They've really got to grips with it. On-demand stuff you can watch, everything like that. A bit like Netflix, when you can just put a video on or a film on or whatever you want to do. So on Sky Sports, we watch American football.
Yeah, and so I know that you're a cricket fan. You are a soccer or European football fan. You watch American football. What else? What other sports do you get into, Rich? I know you're a golfer. Uh,
Yeah, I watch the golf when it's on again on Sky Sports. They have all the American tournaments, all the FedEx Cups, things like that I tend to watch. There's a thing just about to go on in this country with this, which is the darts, which is a big thing here. They have the World Championships are coming on the 17th of December, and that runs into the 1st of January when the final will be. So there's darts every night of the week for like 3 or 4 hours of people throwing arrows at a board.
yeah, but hey, that's cool. I mean, I used to love playing darts. I never got it really good at it or anything. Are you pretty good dart slinger?
Um, Not too bad. I've got a dartboard in my office
Yeah.
actually. But now I've redone all the walls and everything. I don't want no one throwing holes in the wall.
Exactly. You put you some cork sideboards up there so you don't mess it
Yeah.
up. But you're not, I know you're not that bad. Of course, now if Ethan gets in there and tries to throw them, yeah.
Yeah, Ethan sticks them in the wall.
Okay,
When
well,
he gets tired.
so I was going to ask you this. This will be interesting to American viewers. So tell me what you like about football and what you like about soccer or European football, American versus European. Tell me the things you like or don't like about one or the other. This would be interesting for our American folks to hear.
I think a lot of the American football I've always sort of watched from years and years ago. We used to have a TV, the channel still going called Channel 4, which brought American football to us, really. We're the first people that did that. So I tend to watch it when John Riggins and the Fridge and people like that were playing back then. So I used to watch the Redskins quite a lot because they used to be on quite a lot because I think they were one of the best teams around that time.
They were.
So you used to watch it and watch the Super Bowl, which is silly o'clock in the mornings. It's on about 2 o'clock in the morning here. So I used to stay up, have a couple of friends around. At the beginning, I had no idea what was going on. But then I played a lot of ice hockey when I was younger. So I quite like the physical side of American football, and the thinking and the technical bit, and the defense and the offense, and they have different teams. And one of the biggest things that I found, which is different to the UK football, is when I went to watch Cleveland Browns play in Cleveland, it was such a great atmosphere. Everyone was friendly to each other. I saw probably 1 or 2 policemen that were on horses. That's all I saw at all. You go to our grounds, there's police all over the place, keeping an eye on everyone. Because there's lots of football hooligans back in the 80s in the UK, had a big, big problem with it. It's not so bad now as it was. It's been really cleaned up, and I'd feel quite safe going to a football game in this country. But that was something in that time, around 91, when I went to watch Cleveland play. It was just a great atmosphere, and it's just, I like America anyway, which is a good thing. But it's a lot of big hits, and it's amazing how that quarterback can just throw the ball. And I've tried doing it, and you have to spin off the laces or whatever they do, and it's quite a technical thing to do. But I can do it, but it is how they throw it so far.
I know.
It's amazing. So really, if I had a choice between watching soccer, our football, or American football, I'd watch American football every day, rather than watch our. A lot of problem with the English football is now there's lots of foreign players that play in the top leagues now, so the English players don't get much of a chance these days, and that's why the English or the England football team is not that good, because we don't have the people coming through because of the swarm of foreign players that want to play in the UK. It makes the standard of football really high, but it does stunt the growth of the English clubs. But American football for me, if it's on Sky, it's on the TV, and I'm watching it.
That is, you know what? You just totally went up another notch or two in my mind because you knew who John Riggins was, and you were a Redskins fan. See, now people in my area, in North Carolina, before the Carolina Panthers were here, which they weren't, up until about maybe 15 years ago. They're maybe that long. I'm trying to remember when they actually started here. But typically you were either a Redskins fan or you were an Atlanta Falcons fan because those were sort of the two closer teams. There wasn't a team in Tennessee back then. Like now there's one in Nashville. But yeah, you were either a Redskins fan, which I was a huge Redskins fan. When you said John Riggins, said, okay, that's one of my favorite football players ever. I had a guy named Joe Theismann there. There was a guy named Billy Kilmer there before him, but that's probably before your time. This is one of the things that's interesting to me is you came in 1991 and saw the Browns play. You couldn't have been, were you traveling with your dad or your parents or something in Rich? Because you must have been a teenager, right?
No, I was about 19, 20. I was in a sales company at the time and had a conference in Cleveland. So we arrived there on the Friday and the Browns were playing on the Sunday. So what we had to do is we had to go out during the day and buy lots of woolly hats and scarves with Cleveland Browns all over it.
Yeah.
It was freezing cold. And then we went to the game. And I remember watching the game and it had been snowing quite a lot and it was still snowing on the day. And all the crowd were throwing snowballs in as they went to kick the ball. And they told them if they continued to do that, they would abandon the match and stuff. It was good to watch and it was such good fun. But I was about 19, 20 at the time.
Wow. I'm curious, was the lake frozen over at that point, or was it still early enough in the season that they were still riding boats around? There's a great lake up there, one of the great lakes.
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yeah.
I don't remember. I remember seeing it from the top of the stadium, but I was too busy with my.
It was probably still a little early in the year. I've been to Cleveland twice. Once for a tour when I worked for Christian Tours, and then also my band played in the National Battle of Bands up there, and it was in January. Excuse me, like January 13th of 2000 or something like that, and. I remember I'd never been to Cleveland in the winter, and the entire Lake Erie was froze solid. It looked like a huge desert plain of ice, and I could not believe it. I still have that video somewhere. I need to go find it and share it. It was amazing to me because it's cold up there, but the Great Lake. I mean, you don't think of that huge a body of water just freezing over, but wow. So. Wicked cold area there, Cleveland in the winter. Hey, much nicer to go watch. Like right now, awesome day. Of course, they're playing in New Orleans, but like last Sunday, it was beautiful in North Carolina. Well, actually, they played Dallas last week though. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's at this time of year, even November and December in North Carolina, it's fantastic time to go watch football. It's a lot of days it's 60, 65 degrees, sun beating down. It's just glorious. So. Hopefully someday you'll be here in North Carolina. We'll go see a Panthers game together. So
yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go and see the Panthers play. Now I'm a Panthers fan.
Hey, they're a team that's, like I say, it's come a long way. I don't know. I'm not going to get off on that. I could start geeking out over the Panthers. They've broken my heart for years, but this year it might be the year. I don't know. And if not, it's still a great season. It's fun to see them actually winning and be undefeated this far into the year. It's pretty amazing. It's a hard thing in the NFL for them to do that. It's pretty sweet.